Hello ladies and gents. Welcome to episode number 3 of Brian Wildcat's Wrestling Stars of the 2000s. Episode 1 is Batista, episode 2 is Edge. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about the Olympic gold medalist, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle is a 1996 Olympic gold medal winner. At the 1999 edition of Survivor Series, he made his in-ring debut. He had a successful rookie year in 2000 of becoming the European Champion, Intercontinental Champion, 2000 King of the Ring, WrestleMania debut, and at No Mercy. He defeated The Rock to become the WWE Champion for the very first time, thanks to Rikishi, who was destroyed by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Even before that, Kurt Angle had a feud with The Game, Triple H over his wife, Stephanie McMahon. At Armageddon, it was a 6-man Hell in a Cell match for the WWE Championship. And it was every man for himself. 6 men went to war against each other. Inside the ring, outside the ring, inside the cell, outside the cell, on top of the cell, Triple H pedigreed The Rock on the car, rivals facing off. Undertaker chokeslams Rikishi off the top of the cell onto the vehicle with pieces of wood. And in the end, Kurt Angle survives the 6-man Armageddon Hell in a Cell match to retain the WWE Championship. Kurt Angle would have a feud with Benoit. And 2 submission specialists had great chemistry against each other in matches. And their matches from WrestleMania to Backlash to Judgment Day were forgotten gems. Especially their match at Backlash in a 30-man Iron Man submissions match. For weeks, Benoit would steal Kurt Angle's gold medals until Angle gets them back in a 2 out of 3 falls match at Judgment Day. Shane McMahon and WCW would invade the World Wrestling Federation for weeks. Meanwhile, Shane feuds with Kurt Angle since he confronted him at his memorial celebration segment after Judgment Day. At King of the Ring, despite losing to Edge in the finals of the 2001 King of the Ring tournament, Kurt Angle goes to war with Shane McMahon in a street fight. And it was one of their best matches in their careers. Especially the glass incident of the match when Kurt suplexed Shane at the King of the Ring set and through the glass. It was one of the most physical and brutal matches in WWE history. At Invasion, Stone Cold Steve Austin betrays Kurt Angle and the World Wrestling Federation to join the Alliance as the leader, and taking his WWE Championship with him. Kurt Angle would become the hero of the World Wrestling Federation. At SummerSlam, Angle brings his A-game and took Stone Cold to the limit. He does the beautiful moonsault and kick out 3 Stone Cold stunners, which causes Austin to snap when he attacked 3 referees to get himself disqualified to save his WWE title. Kurt Angle did everything he could to win and get back the WWE Championship. He was robbed that he couldn't win the WWF Championship back home where it becomes. The next night on Raw after SummerSlam, Kurt Angle in a milk truck confronts Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Alliance and sprays milk with a hose as one of the most memorable moments in Raw history. Kurt Angle humiliated Stone Cold once again of kidnapping him and drives his truck, tries to chuck him off the bridge and made him beg and cry, and pushes him into the water pool. Since 9/11 happened, at Unforgiven, Kurt Angle would become the WWE Champion for the 2nd time of defeating Stone Cold Steve Austin to take the World Wrestling Federation Championship back home where it belongs. Kurt Angle's career hasn't been the same since the storyline of the World Wrestling Entertainment vs. the Alliance, but he could go Olympic on you. He had enough of the WWE Universe chanting "what?" in his segments and interviews. He even had enough of them of chanting "you suck" whenever Kurt's music plays or in a segment. Kurt Angle was in backstage after Mr. McMahon announces Hulk Hogan as the #1 contender for the WWE Undisputed Championship against Triple H at Backlash. Edge shows up to show memories of the Olympic gold medalist. and on the back of his memories, Edge diced him. Like what the hell? This has to be one of the funniest moments in SmackDown history. Him and Edge would have great battles with each other at Backlash and Judgment Day. But at Judgment Day, Edge shaves Kurt Angle's head bald and left him embarrassed and exposed him. After weeks of embarrassment and humiliation of his bald head and tries to hide it by putting a wig on, Kurt Angle is embarrassed no more and introduced his new look of his bald head. And he still goes Olympic on his opponents. He had classic matches with The Rock, The Undertaker, Chris Benoit, Edge, Rey Mysterio, and Eddie Guerrero. Check out all of his matches during 2002. Kurt Angle looked unstoppable in 2002. And yes, he cut a hilarious promo on Rey Mysterio because he's a guy who loves to play with boys. At the end of the year, he'll join forces with Paul Heyman to form Team Angle with Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin. Team Angle would rule SmackDown from late 2002 to early 2003 towards WrestleMania 19. And sure, Brock Lesnar would start a rivalry with Kurt Angle in late 2002. He would win the 2003 Royal Rumble match to challenge Kurt Angle for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. We're only 17 days away from walking into the biggest stage of them all, but Kurt Angle has to defend the WWE Championship against Brock Lesnar to preview of what's gonna happen at the biggest stage of them all. Brock Lesnar was about to knock off the WWE Champion until he realized it's not Kurt Angle. Haas and Benjamin distracts Lesnar and Kurt Angle switch with someone who looked like him and rolls Lesnar up and retains his title. Kurt Angle trolls Brock Lesnar with his brother, Eric Angle. On March 30, 2003, live in Seattle, Washington, Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar compete in the main event for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 19. These two men would have one of the best WrestleMania matches and main events of all time. These two men brought their game, and the infamous highlight of the bout is when Brock Lesnar tries to hit the shooting star press on Kurt, but Kurt was too far away and Brock's head hits on the mat and he killed himself and got a concussion. But it's still a great match between these two. At the end of the bout, Brock Lesnar broke Kurt Angle's neck with a third F5 to become two-time WWE Champion. After WrestleMania, Kurt Angle would have neck surgery and he will be out of action for 2 months.